What's going on, guys? It's Nick with the Hungry Handgunner. So today I just kind of want to do a little presentation on concealed carry versus open carry. If you're like me and you live in a state where it's legal to do both, I live in Georgia, so with a carry permit you can open carry or you can conceal carry. That might be a question for you, especially if you're just getting into carrying a handgun. I will go ahead and just clearly state that I do hold the opinion that concealed carry is probably the way to go for 99% of the people. However, I just want to talk about a couple things. So what I have out here is just my Glock 19 Gen 4, and this is a Safari ALS. It's just a paddle holster. This is the holster I'll use if I'm doing yard work or something like that on my own property where I might want the gun outside the waistband, and obviously in plain sight in that case. But so a couple reasons why people do open carry. One, they think it is a visual deterrent, that it might stop somebody that is thinking about attacking them. It might be enough of a deterrent to keep them from actually attacking. The other reasons, it's typically a lot easier to get a holster that fits well, or that it is at least comfortable enough to wear. It's a lot easier to get that right the first time with an outside the waistband holster. The holsters are also more readily available. You can get outside the waistband holsters and stuff like that at Walmart. So it's a lot easier getting a holster to begin with. Now, as far as inside the waistband goes, as far as concealed carry goes, my bad, you can conceal something like this, especially in the winter with a jacket. But like if I try to put my shirt over that, it's pretty obvious. And I wore a smaller shirt on purpose today, guys. But it's pretty obvious that gun is there. And even with a normal t-shirt or button down, especially if you're bending and everything else, it's going to become apparent that gun is there. So I wouldn't really go that route for concealed carry. But if we go to the holster I have here, an appendix position, if I can get my shirt around that other one, that same gun is concealed now. So it just kind of depends, I guess, what your worldview is and how comfortable you are with other people saying that you have a gun. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about guns. I really don't care who knows that I have guns, but when I'm out with my family and everything, I don't really want to attract any unwanted attention. And let's face it, guys, in the society we live in today, there's people that just don't agree that you should be able to own guns, much less carry them. So do some soul searching on that. But some pros to carrying this way: it is easier to get to that gun. You don't have to defeat a cover garment, anything like that. It's right there. Also, it is for long periods of time, it is more comfortable, in my opinion, to carry like this. But it's also more uncomfortable in certain situations, like being in a car. You've got this thing wedged up there and you're really not going to be able to get to it fast. Some pros for carrying concealed, specifically appendix. I'm going to take this one off for a second. But for carrying appendix, the gun is very readily accessible. All you have to do is defeat the cover garment and you've got your gun there. It is pretty comfortable if you get the right holster and you're carrying the right gun. So obviously, this is a Glock 19. It's kind of right there at the limit for me as far as what I'd be willing to carry in that position. Very easily accessible when driving. Now, I know you can't talk about appendix carry without somebody talking about the inherent dangers of it. This gun's not chambered, but normally when I get ready to leave the house, put the gun in the holster, put the holster where it goes, and then I don't take the gun back out until I'm back home and the whole thing comes off. But as long as you're paying attention to what's around the trigger or in the trigger guard when you're holstering, you should be just fine. So we talked about some pros to the open carry, some pros to the concealed carry philosophy. Theoretically, nobody will know you have a gun unless you present the gun. So I like that. I don't really want everybody around me to know that I have one. So it's kind of a good thing for me, in my opinion, to just kind of keep it quiet. It's there if you need it. Not everybody else needs to know about it. Number two, I know it's been said a lot and I don't know how accurate it is, but there is that concern, at least for me, that if I was in an environment where a violent criminal was coming in, potentially to rob or hurt people, and he saw that I was open carrying, I may have potentially just made myself a target where before I could have simply either let it go or waited for my time to take action. And a lot of this is largely dependent on your state laws. So if you live somewhere where neither one of these options or just one of these options is legal, there you go. I can't really advise you on that. But so if you are going to go the way of outside the waistband, like open carry, your holster selection is going to be pretty important. Holster selection is important no matter what, but it becomes a little bit more important in my opinion as far as retention and things like that with your holsters when you start carrying it where everybody can see that you have it. So this is the Safariland ALS holster. There's a little paddle right there. This gun will not come out until I deactivate or activate that paddle, and then it comes right out. So there's basically there's just like this little clamp inside that sets down inside the trigger guard and catches on that little spot right there by the chamber, and it won't move out of the way until you depress that paddle. So would it 100% keep somebody from taking your gun? No, but it is just a little bit of retention. Again, I don't open carry. I'm not really a big advocate of open carry, but you do you. So don't come in the comments hating on me for that. But I think that there are certain times when open carry may be a better idea than others. Like I said, I do it on my own property, but that's more for critters and not people. So, and nobody can really see me anyway. So, out in public, I'm always concealed carrying. So I hope that sheds a little bit of light. If you guys have other thoughts on the concealed versus open carry debate, drop them in the comments. So, as always, guys, stay safe, keep shooting. I'll see you next time.